guys, welcome back to my channel, Crystal Clear Curls. I am Crystal. If you are new here, welcome. Welcome back to my little corner of the internet where we are Crystal and the Jewels. Now, if you'd like to be a jewel, all you have to do is one little thing, and that's click that subscribe button. And if you'd like to be reminded of any time that I post a video, click that notification bell. Today I'm going to be giving you all Crystal's hair story. Hair story. It's my hair story. This is gonna be how we got here. And I just kind of figured, as a natural hair influencer, I think it's important for you guys to kind of know how we got here. And to be honest, I kind of thought of this after reflecting myself, on how I got here, because that's a big part of my story, and it's a big part of my why I get up and record these videos every week, why I find it within myself to stay consistent with my content. It is a part of my why, and a part of that came from reflecting on what my story of my hair has been to me in my life for all these years. So I'm gonna take it back to the beginning. Of course, we're all born natural. So it is the reason why you hear a lot of people prefer the term returning natural as opposed to going natural, because saying going natural sounds as if it'll be the first time you've ever been that, when in actuality you're just returning back to a place from which you started. So of course, like everyone else, born natural. Around age 11 is when my mother decided to get me a relaxer. Now, I in no way blame my mom for making that decision. I mean, if we're being completely honest, just the fact that you know this song by heart, Just For Me. Yeah, it was a whole campaign just to get little girls' hair managed. How do you fight against a campaign that is targeting you? As a mother, I don't know if I would have been able to resist it either. So my mother had to do what she had to do. And she made the decision, and starting at age 11 until 31, so 20 years, I was relaxed. So during those relaxed times, there were not a lot of people with natural hair that I saw. And then everyone that I did know that had natural hair would mostly get their hair pressed. So, which means I rarely, if ever, would see them curly. But if I'm being honest, all throughout life, I think I kind of admired people who wore their curls. But a little part of me admired them in a way that says that it's possible for them and not for me. That makes me a little sad now, just thinking about it. But I think a part of it was, oh, that looks good on them. Oh, they can wear their curls. Obviously, my hair is too thick, too coarse to want to even do that. So, fast forward a little bit. I actually back up some. So, also at 11 is when my mother taught me how to braid. And she taught me how to braid because she got so very tired of me every week that a new Moesha came on and she had a new braid style. I was asking for my mama to try and do that for me. And my mama was over it with 3 girls in the house, and I'm the oldest. She's like, okay, you that interested in braiding? Let me teach you how to do your own hair. And so I started to braid my own hair very quickly. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So like around my junior year of college, this is around 2005, 2006, is when I start seeing this big natural hair movement happen on the campus of my college. And next thing I know, everywhere around me was somebody cutting off their hair. Did the big chop, I did the big chop, I did the big chop. I mean, everywhere I looked, someone was doing a big chop. And I still haven't kind of reconciled my feelings about what that brought up in me. I just remember people starting to pose the question, would you ever go natural? And I would quickly answer, me? No, I have way too much hair to go natural. Plus, I like my straight hair. I like straight hair. That is what my answer would be every time. I like straight hair. Oh, I think going natural is cool for you, but I like straight hair. I like my hair straight. Now, as I think back over some time, that couldn't have been entirely true. And I'm going to kind of show some photos here and there. But I wore twist outs and braid outs. I know all through college and a little bit during high school. But all through college, on my relaxed hair, I would wear twist outs, braid outs. And it was more like this manufactured curl. I would wear rod sets. Like, I loved curls. I loved to see my hair full of texture. But every time someone asks me, would you ever think about going natural? I quickly would answer,
oh no, not me. My hair is too thick. I don't want to deal with all of that. Plus, I like my straight hair.
And that makes me feel a little something now, you know? It makes me feel a little something because I think I was saying so much more than what I was actually saying. And every time that question would pose, I would try to hurry up and deaden the conversation. So, going through college, wearing twist outs, flat twist outs, two-string twist outs, wearing braid outs, wearing rod sets. I wore it all. I loved it. As time progressed, I started to get relaxers less and less. I had gotten down to 2 a year. So you know what that means for new growth, right? You know, I'm having more and more new growth. But what I started to realize was that my hair was taken to the relaxer less and less. Of course, that could have had a lot to do with how frequent I was getting them, which was only twice a year. So it was only like making my hair less wavy, just less wavy. I even remember sitting in my beautician's chair and saying, oh my gosh, my hair just will not get all the way straight with the relaxer. And she said, oh, that's because you've been doing it wrong. Let me do it and I'll make sure that it's straight from the roots to the ends. I said, okay, you can try, because I'm telling you, I've had this issue for a very long time and it just will not get straight. Sit in her chair. She said, I'm going to give you what's called a virgin relaxer. Put it from the roots to the ends and your hair is going to be straight.
Less wavy.
Still wavy from the roots to the ends. Just less wavy. So yeah, no, I just learned to just be okay with that. So as time progressed, I had my first child, and my second child, then my third child. I got a relaxer like at month 7 of me being pregnant. Y'all would have thought that I didn't get a relaxer because it didn't look like it anywhere. I literally looked at my mom who used to relax my hair and I'm like, what the heck is wrong? Like, what the heck is going on? It doesn't even look like I got a relaxer. But yet, here I am with chemical burns all in my head. And my hair is not laying down. Like, I'm having to do extra work with my flat irons just to get my hair straight. So I'm like, okay, after I have the baby and all of that, maybe in about 3 or 4 months, I'm going to try again. 3 or 4 months goes by. I get another relaxer. Same thing. Same thing? You can't even tell that I have a relaxer if my hair isn't, like, if I'm not doing the extra work with the straightening comb and going in with the flat irons. You can't even tell that I've had a relaxer. What in the world is going on?
What is going on?
I tell my mama, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to try again in about 2 months. Now, I've never gotten a relaxer that close. I just said I'm going to try again in 2 months because I can't make sense of this. I cannot make sense of why my hair is not responding to a relaxer. People say, oh, maybe you need to try a different one. Oh, maybe you need to do this. I mean, here I am getting all the chemical burns, but my hair isn't getting straight. I am, at this point, so very frustrated. I mean, frustrated to no end because I'm getting more and more chemical burns because I'm getting them closer than I typically would. And the chemical burns are worse and my hair is not responding. Like, you talking about frustration on 10. So, I'm sitting there one day and I'm doing my daughter's hair and I'm just like, oh, I love your curls. Your curls are so pretty. And she turns around to me. She turns around to me and says,
Mommy, why won't you wear your hair curly like mine?
Yeah. Sound like it's time to return back to natural. Talk about pulling at my heartstrings. I was like, how can I be so into her curls? Had even kind of pledged to myself that I would not give her a relaxer. That would be something I would let be her choice once she gets older. And in my head, older, I'm thinking like 16 to 18. And I was just determined not to give her a relaxer because I knew what the chemicals were doing to my scalp. You know, I felt those burns every time and I just didn't want that for her. And I really wanted to, like, put in her love for her hair from the very beginning so that nobody could taint that view for her. And then here I was tainting my own view for my own hair. So that's just a little bit of vulnerability right there. Because I'm starting to get some feels. I'm starting to get some feels because that was the reality. Here I was trying to embed self-love through her hair to her. And I wasn't really doing it for myself. So that day I remember calling my sister and being like, I think I'm going to try this natural thing, but I'm scared. And she was like, yeah, me too. I've started transitioning. And I'm like, okay, what's transitioning? And she's like, that's when you grow your hair out until you're at a comfortable stage where you cut all of your relaxed hair off. Heart beating like crazy. I'm kind of going back to college days. I see people around me just cutting their hair off. I think more than anything, I was more scared of short hair than I was of being natural. Like, I don't know, I just never had seen myself, other than when I was in baby pictures, literally baby pictures, was the last time I really saw my hair short. I had a photo when I was probably like 2 or 3 years old, and my hair, like my ponytails were this long. So you see what I mean? Like, I've never really seen myself with my hair short like that. So I say, okay. I tell my sister I think I'm going to try it too. I mean, it's not like my relaxer is working anyway. I don't really know how that's going to look. She like, yeah, but you know how to do your hair. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I can always still wear, you know, twist outs and braid outs to kind of mask it. And then when I don't feel like doing that, because you got to remember, here I am on my third child. And let's see, I have, at this point, I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a newborn. Going from 1 child to 2 children feels like you went from 1 to 10. Going from 2 children to 3 children feels like you went from 10 to 100. So you can imagine the space I was in. So I'm thinking, I'm just going to wear braids and I'll let it grow out. And every time it grows out about an inch, I'll cut off an inch. And I did that for some time. I transitioned for about 17 months total. Now, the one thing I do regret is not documenting that journey. I don't have a lot of photos showing it. I will put up the ones that I do have to show kind of where I was when my hair started to grow out and when I started to see the little evidence of curls, and I would kind of get excited, you know what I mean? Like, I remember that excitement. I remember getting excited about, I can see a curl. Oh, I can see a curl. Oh, that's so pretty. It's gonna be so pretty. Putting it right back in braids. Don't have time to do it. Now, I will say this. One part about my journey that I do kind of wish I could have a do-over on is I wish I would have done a big chop. I wish I would have grown my hair out just a little bit, you know, maybe a few inches, and then I wish I would have went ahead and cut it off. I think it would have unlocked a different love journey for me. I wish I wouldn't have robbed myself of that out of fear of having short hair. But I did, so whatever. So here I am transitioning, put my hair in braids, take them out after about a month and a half, look at how much it's grown, clip off that much. So my hair was staying around the same length for literally almost 2 years. So finally get to this point where I have more natural hair than I do relaxed hair. And at this point, I am fed up dealing with these 2 different textures. Was frustrating. I said, okay, it's time to cut it off. This was October of 2018. It's time to cut all my relaxed hair off. My hair is going to be a lot shorter than I'm used to. But I'm just going to have to be okay with it. I proceed to cut. I do my hair in some mini twists. I go around. I actually went to homecoming back at my high school. And some of the comments were, oh my gosh, what made you cut your hair? Like, what made you start over? Girl, you got pretty hair. Why would you do that? Got some of that. Some other people's like, oh, I wish I had the courage to go natural. So I kind of got like mixed things. But at this point, I'm kind of riding the wave of learning my hair in a new way. So you got to remember, I started doing my own hair at 11 after I got my relaxer. So I don't know this hair. This hair has only been managed by my mom and whoever she was getting to press our hair at that time. I don't know this hair. I'm learning this hair, and a little bit of me is having to learn to love it as well. So I will say one of the big mistakes I made at the very beginning of my journey is following naturals who had a much looser curl than I did. And because of that, I was in this constant state of, I'm gonna just create the curl I want. And that's in rod sets, that's in twist outs, that's in braid outs. I control what my curl pattern looks like, because I can't achieve what I see on YouTube. What I see on my favorite YouTubers, I cannot control it. I cannot get that. And that caused what I think, or what I feel like right now, was a little setback in my own journey, where I was comparing my hair to someone else's. But of course, here I am in new territory. It was very understandable to look to compare. Just because it was new territory for me. Yes, I was used to doing my own hair, but not like this. So I was on a mission to find at least one natural on YouTube whose hair mimicked what I felt like mine was. And the very first person that I found was Curlfriend Ari. And I remember watching her video and saying, oh my gosh, her hair is beautiful. Her hair is beautiful. It wasn't like the looser naturals. It was more like mine, and I saw beauty. It was the first time that I really honed in on my hair, the way it was could be beautiful. And that was a turning point for me. That was a turning point for me. That's when I got this notion to document my hair journey on Instagram, because I really was like, I don't see nobody with hair like mine. But in all honesty, looking back on it, I think the algorithm was just feeding me more of what I was already watching, which made it harder to find tighter curl naturals. So Instagram, I go to Instagram and I feel like, hey, I'm scared of really talking on camera like that, but I feel like I can do an Instagram page where I can show photos of what my hair looks like, how I styled it, maybe even a little short video of what I did. And so that's what I did. Started on Instagram, and I started gaining quite a few followers. And I don't know, there's just an innate nature in me to teach what I know. And as people would ask questions, that would just fuel a fire in me that says, oh, they asked that question, I gotta do a whole video on it. And I remember I would just go in and I would go in and make sure that in my captions tell why this, why I did that, how I did this, how I did that. And that just started to fuel something in me, to the point where I was like, I think I can do this. I still wasn't ready to be a YouTuber, but I was like, I can do this. I can do it in short form. And I was so freaking afraid to talk on camera. I contemplated making my name the Silent Natural. So that I would never have to speak on camera and it wouldn't be expected of me. Because if I tell you I'm the Silent Natural, you wouldn't expect me to talk, right? I'm so glad I talked myself out of that. Not saying that it probably couldn't have worked. I'm sure I could have worked it in somehow. But one thing that I did love about watching certain content creators was being able to see their personality through their videos. And it's hard to do that when you're silent. And I felt like I had something to say. I just was too scared to say it. So it's not like I had nothing to say. That would be a totally different thing. I had plenty to say. I was just too scared to say it. But I'm so glad I didn't go with the Silent Natural. I was at that point all kinds of hair. Like, hair has truly been a passion of mine since I was 11. I have loved hair and what it meant to me. And it was now able to like be put on display for parts of the world to see. So I have been creating content since June of 2019. So this year would make 4 years of content creation. And all of this is a part of my hair story, because through documenting this journey, I can clearly see where things were starting to click for me, where I was learning my hair, learning what I liked, learning what I didn't like, learning how I wanted to wear my hair, how I didn't want to wear my hair, what felt good on my hair, what didn't feel good on my hair. And that part was exhilarating. It was exhilarating, figuring out what it was my hair needed. Now, don't get me wrong. I am still figuring things out. I do not have it all figured out, but I do know the things my hair likes, and I know how to use those. So when you see me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, just know this is all coming from years of being willing to learn my hair in a different way. I was willing to learn my hair in a different way. Was willing to not look at it as, whew, my hair is just, it's too thick to even do that. My hair is too thick for me to even want to spend time washing my hair. Oh, I go wash that again. I had to get out of that thinking, because that was making it worse. It was just making it worse for me. I had to learn to talk about my hair with love. And once I did that, the journey became just a little bit easier, because it was all about learning a part of me and not about hating to deal with the part of me that was hard to manage. I'm glad I'm over that part, because that made the journey so much harder at that time. It made the journey so much harder at that time. And it feels good on this side. It feels good on this side to know that I know things about my hair that I didn't know last year. I know things about my hair right now that I probably didn't know 2 or 3 months ago. And that is exhilarating for me. So while I am not what you would typically call a lazy natural, I am a natural that has a lot of life going on. I'm a wife, a mother, a full-time employee, a daughter, a sister, a niece, a cousin, an aunt. I am all these things, and this is a big part of my life as well. So because of that, I'm not a lazy natural, but I want to be able to do my hair on wash day and not touch it really again until the next wash day. And so far, I have been keeping up with that. That serves me well. I get to be in my style for about 7 days or more, and it just works for my life. So I had to learn that. I had to learn that doing my hair more often meant actually more freedom for me. It meant that my wash days didn't have to take too long. It meant that I didn't have a head full of tangles that I would have to deal with 14, 20 days later. If I could handle them within 7 days, my hair is not as tangled. I'm not losing as much shed hair. It's not taking me as long to detangle. I'm good. So that's where I fall. I can't make the decision for your hair. I cannot tell you, hey, you need to do this, and not be respectful of all the other life you have going on. So I don't like to tell people what to do. I leave that to the social media bullies. That's not my job to do. What I am here to tell you though is to figure out what works for you. And by works for you, I mean look at all the different sides of it. Not just, oh, I don't like doing my hair, so I do it whenever I'm tired of scratching my scalp. Making it a priority of thought so that it can work within your life. That's what I would say. So I actually have enjoyed telling you guys a little bit of my hair story. I have. And I may have an updated one as time progresses because I am on a bit of a journey to getting waist length hair. I don't know how long it'll take, and I'm not rushing it. I'm not doing anything trying to come up with some special concoction to make it grow 6 inches in 2 months. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just, you know, paying attention to my length retention, the things that are causing my hair to break off much faster than not. And so I think my hair story is ever growing. You know what I mean? I think it will forever follow me, no matter where that takes me. No matter if I end up with some damage and have to cut it all off. Like, regardless, my hair story will continue, and I'll be sure to bring you guys along with me. So this is the end of the video. Enough of the mushy feels, enough of all of that. This is the end. If you haven't already, please click subscribe. Please become a part of this family over here where we don't judge and we don't tell you what to do, but we will offer you some suggestions. And if you'd like to be reminded of any time that I post a video, then click that notification bell. And then follow me everywhere. I am on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and Facebook. Now until next time, bye.